Hello, New Wave of British Heavy Metal.com here today. It is the 19th of April 2024. Quick little favour, if I could ask you please to consider subscribing to the channel, because that'd be a big help and appreciate it if you would. Click that little button. Today the band is Sun Q and their second album called Myth, right? And Sun Q is a duo comprising of Ivan Shalimnov and Elena Tiron, right? And Myth is their second album on which that duo are joined by various guest musicians as well. CD arrived in the post, a nice surprise, I wasn't expecting it. And when I opened it up and found a CD and a sheet of paper with it, it had come from the band via their promotions company, Bad Dog Promotions. And Bad Dog, do send me interesting CDs from time to time, which I am grateful for. And Myth by Sun Q, what a day, is no exception to that at all. Didn't know anything about the band, so I was glad there was some information in with it, so I had no preconceptions at all. And after having read the paper that the band sent with the CD, I was quite intrigued before giving it that first listen. So if I can borrow some words from that, it said, Sun Q combines dirty guitar sound with vivid, mysterious vocals and ornate melodies. Imagine garage psychedelic vibes with a touch of stoner magic and a warm vintage sound. Sun Q mixing various styles and added exotic instruments to craft a mesmerizing beauty. Now that paints quite a picture, doesn't it? Interesting stuff indeed. So I went on the band's website to see if I could find out any more, and I was, even more interested when I read there that some of those exotic instruments that they refer to include a Juno 106 and Soviet synthesizers, a dozen guitars from different eras, a vintage electronic Farfisa organ, if you remember them, and even there's a traditional Swedish instrument employed called, I'm not going to pronounce this right, but I'll try, Nyckelharpa, probably. Anyway, so that was it. I was properly intrigued before I gave it a listen. And after doing that, and indeed giving it many more listens as well over the past few days, I can give my own testament that it does live up to those words. Myth is a real grower. It's very varied, it's never less than enjoyable, and it doesn't fit neatly into one genre or another, which to my ears made it even more rewarding. It's sort of heavy, progressive, bluesy, trippy, psychedelic, atmospheric, engaging, hypnotic, all at different times throughout. And the way that they use those retro synths and the Farfisa and everything else, and that weird Swedish thing, it made me think of the glory days when prog ruled the world in the 1970s, but also a more upbeat modern sound as well. All works ridiculously well. And Elena Tiron's vocal delivery is quite superb. She's got an expansive voice. It's powerful, yet it's hauntingly mysterious at the same time. Marvellous stuff. So what about the music? Well, we've got Jane Doe, that's an attention-grabbing opener. Bit of like a fuzzy guitar, darkish bluesy edge to it, and some lush vocal. Children's singing is sort of upbeat, a kind of a sweeping symphonic element to it. It's punchy, catchy melodic hook as well. Tree. We start venturing into that trippy psychedelic stoner territory, as does Animals to some extent. Dionysus, this comes in hot, big monster riff, equally monster melodic chorus. That's a short, sharp punch of a song. I like that one. Probably that's my favourite on the album. I Am the Sun builds nicely with all those keys and synths going on. And then we've got other stuff like Still Searching for the Skulls. It's got what more you might call that a more traditional prog approach. Elizabeth Siddle and Crystal Doors have a sort of a brooding feel about them, and then we've got a bonus track of Heaven Before, and that's no back number either. I say top marks to Sun Q for releasing Myth. It's an excellent album, interesting, engaging music, and it flows between all those multiple genres just so well. And there's enough going on here to satisfy your ear, whether you prefer your hard punchy stuff or your prog, you know, in a more expansive and a bit retro way. Recommended. Check it out on the band's Bandcamp page, Sun-Q's Bandcamp page. There are various formats available there, all the usual ones. I will put a link to their Bandcamp page underneath, so please do check that out. My thanks to Sun-Q and Bad Dog Promotions for getting this to me. Do appreciate it. Thank you. Please do subscribe to the channel before you go, because that'd be marvellous. And as always, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and take care.